to another episode of Sanford Says. My name is Lisa Holder, Communications Officer with the City of Sanford, and I have two very special guests with me today, Jessica Mund and Shelley Allen. Jessica is a resident of Sanford and a member of the Public Art Commission, volunteering for the city. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, thanks for having me.
And Shelley is also a resident and the co-founder of Porch Fest. Welcome, Shelley.
Thank you for having me today. I'm excited.
So today's topic is the Lanta Gateway Project. And if you're wondering what that is, we're about to tell you. It is a community project led by the residents of Sanford. But before we do that, we want to just ask these ladies a couple questions just to get to know who they are. They're residents of Sanford, as am I, and my neighbors, by the way. Let's start with you, Shelley. What are you watching on Netflix right now?
Well, we just wrapped up The Haunting of Bly Manor, which was a little spooky, but interesting. So we just finished that up last night.
Okay, I'll have to check that out because I do like horror stories. Jessica, what about you?
We just watched, I want to get the title right, The Trial of the Chicago, what's it called? Yeah, The Trial of the Chicago 7. Did you see that on Netflix?
I
about
did.
the protests, and so that was it was a movie. It's not a series, but it was really good.
Yeah.
And then this is not on Netflix, but on Hulu, Schitt's Creek, just because it's hilarious.
That
is a great one.
I've heard of that
Late
one.
to that party.
I've heard that one. And for me, I have just finished watching Ratchet, so that's all I'm going to say for sure. Now, so when did you both move to Sanford? Shelley, when did you move to Sanford?
So I moved here in 2016 from Winter Park. So
Okay.
I'm a born and raised Central Floridian. I didn't go very far.
You're born and raised, yes. And you, Jessica?
I moved to Sanford about 3.5 years ago, and I was living in Winter Springs. I moved there from Syracuse, so I've only been in the area for about 8 years.
Wow.
And I loved the small town vibe and just wanted to live somewhere where things were happening. I moved into my house by myself, so I was looking for a cool community, and I love it.
Yes. And so for me, I've moved to Sanford in 2011, and I can't say enough about this awesome city. And so we found a really great place to move in Sanford, right? Because the three of us live in the Lanta community, an historic neighborhood. And so we're going to get into right now the history of the Lanta Gateway Project and just why we're here talking with you today. So really, it was a project that started, I would say, a few years ago where the residents of the community came together and wanted some a little more pride in their community, pride in their neighborhood, and a little bit of recognition. And it's taken some time, but we finally have come together and have a direction right now. And since the city has designated that landmark or that feature, that gateway feature, an historic landmark, and that was in December 2017. So we have a plan now. The residents and the community members of Lanta have a plan moving forward. And I'm not going to steal their thunder at all, but let's hear from Shelley as to why this Lanta Gateway Project is so important to the community and to the residents, and some history behind that.
Sure. So as everyone is familiar, Sanford has a large historic preservation initiative and drive behind it. Everybody is familiar with the Downtown Historic District and the downtown area. But there's a lot of culture and history that lies outside of that, invisible map of the historic district. And so we want to bring some awareness to one important feature to us, that is our neighborhood, but more so a historic feature that has been overlooked for some time. So it was constructed in 1924 by Elton Moten, who was a very prominent architect in Seminole County. You can still see a lot of his works around the immediate area and beyond. One, for instance, is the Mayfair Inn. That was one of his largest structures that he built, and in partnership with, as everyone knows, Forest Lake, a previous mayor. And then he also did Mason Lodges and the previous City Hall. So he was one of the most prominent architects that did a lot of the public works buildings throughout Seminole County. And then, when he was commissioned to start San Lanta, his vision for that neighborhood was really for it to be an upscale enclave outside of where Sanford had already developed the historic district as we know it now. And he really wanted to kind of start a new look and developed the community in the Spanish style, Spanish Revival and Mission style homes. But as everyone is aware, we had the Florida land boom and the war. So the neighborhood is left with two very distinctive time frames. The first one being 1920 to 1929, which is where you see a lot of the Spanish-style homes. Lisa, I know you reside in one of the bigger ones in town, and it's absolutely beautiful. You guys have done great. But then, due to the war, construction halted, and so you start to see more mid-century, 1945 to 1955 homes speckled throughout the neighborhood. But the first thing that catches your eye is the historic feature, the arches. And that is the entrance to the neighborhood. It has a beautiful little roundabout rotunda area leading into the neighborhood. It's lined with palm trees. It's an absolutely beautiful feature and was originally a cream colored with gaslight lamp posts out front. I mean, it was absolutely remarkable. And over time, it's been ignored. It has been the victim of careless driving, which has taken out one of the arches and reconstructed in a way that wouldn't necessarily be, along the lines of every other historic preservation in town. So we are looking to kind of revitalize that and bring it back and make it something that Sanford is proud of again, because it is, it is off of Sanford Avenue, which is a main drag into the city. And everybody kind of knows the arches in their own way. So
Right.
everyone is very familiar with them. And I think that there are a lot of people in town that would love to see it become more of a beautiful marker than an eyesore.
Yeah, and we have. I mean, it was lovely that the city ended up painting it again, and so, or had it painted. But the color is, if I don't know, we can describe that. Do you have a color explanation of that? I say something like Pepto-Bismol pink, but it's beautiful in its structure, right? So
Yes.
just what's a little paint will go a long way, correct?
Yes. So our initiative is trying to bring it back to the original color, the original, it was, I think it was like a cream, like a muslin, I think that's what they call it. So an off-white, creamy color. And if anybody walks in that general area, the light that it captures off of the sunrise and the sunset is absolutely beautiful. And I think that, like I said, I think this would be a benefit to all of Sanford to get behind this. It doesn't benefit one neighborhood, it benefits the entire town.
Exactly. Yes. So one neighborhood beautifying their area, it just will catch on and all that. So Jessica, perhaps you'd like to share a little bit about why we are working together as a community with the city to revitalize this project, this gateway.
Yeah, first of all, that was so beautifully said, Shelley, and you're right. It's not just a project for the San Lanta community, but it really serves all of Sanford because of how distinctive of a landmark it is. So we're really excited that this has been a community-led project, which means it's all volunteer, it's all neighborhood people putting this together, fundraising for it, and ultimately executing the painting. So we've sort of self-organized around a GoFundMe page and a Facebook page. So if you'd like to follow along with our project, follow the Facebook page at facebook.com/SanLantaSanford. And that's really our space to share history about the neighborhood and give updates about what's going on with the project. So far we have fundraised $1,430 to date.
Ooh, wonderful. Yay!
Yes. We're really excited about the early progress. And so that's through the GoFundMe. And also the Historic Trust is partnering with us, and they presented us with a check for $470 at the Gateway, and there's a beautiful photo of it if you want to go see that on the Facebook. We kept that event small because of COVID. We all wore a mask. It was very safe, but we're really excited to be supported by the Trust and the community as we fundraise for this effort.
Yeah.
And our next phase will be to produce a T-shirt, which is in the design phase right now. A neighbor has donated her services as a graphic designer to produce the design for the T-shirt, and a local T-shirt vendor, is it Sunshine Threads is the name of it?
Sunshine State Threads, yeah.
Sunshine State Threads is going to fulfill the T-shirt for us, so we're really excited. The neighborhood will be able to vote on 2 designs and pick the best one. So I really hope you follow the Facebook page so you can vote on your favorite design and see yourself around town in our Gateway T-shirt. So it's just been cool. And in addition to everybody contributing financially, it's been wonderful to receive all the comments from DMs on Facebook, from directly the GoFundMe. Even when we had the check presentation standing outside and neighbors were coming outside, everybody has a story to tell about the time they saw the Gateway in disrepair, or comments on the color, or just offers to help with the painting. So I think that's been the most beautiful part, is how the neighborhood has all come together.
Yes, and this is also speaking of coming together, the city of Sanford is in full support of this program, and actually encourage this model of where the community is assisting and helping the city in these efforts, and beautifying their neighborhoods and working with the city of Sanford. This is in City Commission District 2, Commissioner Kerry Wiggins' district. We have his full support in this project, and so we are moving forward day by day. And as you both said, it is a highly visible landmark when you're driving into downtown Sanford on Sanford Avenue. And we hope when you see this landmark that you think of this project and want to contribute, or just even help in your own way. Support it by spreading the word, sharing the Facebook page, and also it's a community project, as we said, and we're getting out and visiting our neighbors. We're seeing people that we have not normally seen in this community and on these streets, and we want to get to know one another, and community is so important in Sanford. Yes.
Yes, and thanks for mentioning the partnership with the city. I do want to mention the city's helping us by installing a marker to coincide with the painting, and they're also going to help us do a paint analysis. There have been a lot of questions about the color, so we're really going to we know it was a light color, to Shelley's point, but we're going to get as close as we can with that paint analysis. So thank you to the city for helping us on those fronts.
Wonderful. Is there anything that we want to say, ladies?
Just to drive just her point home, is we're really trying to communicate through the Facebook page. So, if you are on Facebook, please find it, like it, engage with us. As Lisa said, spread the word. We're 3 people in this room, but we know there's been a lot of eyes on those arches, and we can just really use any hand in this project and moving it forward. And we're really doing this for the city.
Right. And what is the money that's being raised, Jessica? What is that going towards?
Yeah. So the money is going directly towards purchasing the paint, as well as our goal is to have a professional painter be able to execute the painting. If we don't raise enough for that, we'll host a community paint party and paint it ourselves. And then if we have additional funds, we'll invest that into the landscaping in the immediate area. So you can see the breakdown of our fundraising goal on the GoFundMe, but those are the immediate priorities.
Okay, great. And I know that you ladies had gone to the Sanford Museum too and done your research, correct? And found out some history about this. And so that's wonderful, and you've done a great job. I can certainly say that in kicking this off. And the check presentation last week with the Historic Trust, we thank the Historic Trust for that too. And it's something that we are all looking forward to. We've talked about it for a while, and now with the leadership of these 2 residents in San Lanta, we are headed in the right direction. So I wanted to thank you both for doing that. Is there any last words? Shelley?
No, just thanks for having us.
Okay.
And again, thanks for this to the city and Commissioner Wiggins. He was there for the check presentation. And as well as he talked about it during the District 2 meeting. Thanks to the Historic Trust and thanks to Paul over at Sunshine State Threads for assisting us with the t-shirt fundraiser. And thanks to everybody who has donated so far. We really appreciate it. And if you have any photos or stories or anything to share with us, just reach out to us through the Facebook page.
Yes, absolutely.
Jessica?
Echoing Shelley's thanks. And again, that URL is facebook.com/San Lanta Sanford.
All right. Well, there you have it. You have Jessica Mund and Shelley Ellen, both residents of the San Lanta community, leading this project and also leaders of our community. Thank you very much for being here. And find that Facebook page and share that information on the San Lanta project. Thank you. This is Lisa Holder, Communications Officer for the City of Sanford. You could find this podcast wherever you subscribe to your favorite podcast at sanfordfl.gov/podcast. Thanks again for listening. Be safe out there. Have a great day. Until next time. Bye.